Okay, we're checking the audio for YouTube. Let's do a 1, 2, 3, 4 kick. 1, 2, 3, 4 kick.
Okay, welcome everybody. I'd like to call the Common Council meeting for October 7th, 2024 to order at 7 p.m. Let's please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call please, Crystal.
Okay, Alderperson Grimmer,
Here.
Alderperson Henry,
Here.
Alderperson Schaefer,
Here.
Alderperson Valdi,
Here.
Alderperson Wilkin,
Here.
Alderperson Price,
Here.
Alderperson Berg,
Here.
Mayor Eicher,
Here.
and City Administrator Hafner.
Here. Okay, thank you. Next is minutes. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes from September 16th, 2024.
I think we don't
Oh.
have those yet.
Pardon me?
There's no minutes to approve.
Discussion minutes. They'll be ready for approval. I should finish reading the, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, section 5, City of Delafield citizens' comments. Are there any citizens here tonight that would wish to make any comments, things on or off the agenda? Yes, please. Please come up. You get to press the big bar button on the bottom and then just state your name and address, please.
My name is Kathy Sitters. I reside at 2550 Genesee Street in Delafield, Wisconsin. Tonight I am speaking on behalf of the extension of the walking path along Genesee Street, particularly in between Woodland Park Drive and Scenic Heights Drive. That's 4 houses in between there. I have a couple general questions regarding the path, or not questions, but comments. I recently walked along the Oakwood path, and it was full of black walnuts and leaves. It was really messy. So my thoughts are, who's going to be cleaning up these paths as the seasons change? How will they get plowed? When will they get plowed? What's the cost to maintain the paths in the long run? How often will they need sealing? How often will they need replacing? And what is the cost to the city on all of that? But more importantly, I am here because those 4 houses between Woodland Park and Scenic Heights, 3 of those houses are set very far back from the road, and the path does not really bother their houses. My house is set close to the road, and the path in front of my house sits, the original plan sits 30 feet from my front walk. It's pretty close to have people walking back and forth. I have been to the Public Works meetings, and I voiced my concerns, and they did have the engineers go out and take a look at it and do some alternatives to that, which I was very, very thankful for. They passed along to you 3 proposed options, the alternative 3 being one of them, where they placed the path closer to the road, farther away from my house. I'd like you, please, to look at that option 3. There was a additional thing to put a wall in front between the path and my yard that they did not pass along. The price of that was $15,000. I am asking that if you would to choose alternative 3, I would personally pay to have that wall put in. That's how much this privacy means to me, not only because I live there, I have grandchildren, I just want a little bit of privacy there. And also because I've talked with multiple real estate agents that have said that if that path goes where the original option is, that my property value would greatly decrease. And I don't think you guys want that, and I'm not opposed to the path. So I'm just asking you to really look into alternative 3 for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Are there any other citizens that wish to speak tonight? 3, 2, 1. Seeing none, citizens' comments are now closed. 6, consent agenda. There is nothing on the consent agenda. 7, boards, committees, and commission reports. Licenses. Crystal. Do you have-
I don't have anything other than what's in the packet for the discussion and possible action for granting the reserve Class B license.
So we're looking for discussion and possible action for issuance of reserve Class B liquor license to BDB Enterprises, DBA Voodoo Lake Country, located at 705 Genesee Street within the City of Delafield's Premier Economic Development District, which is an above quota license granted and issued in accordance with Ordinance 834 and Wisconsin Statute 12551 4U2. Tom, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, I can just add that this is the first of the 2 additional licenses that we received for establishing the Premier Economic Development District. The applicant has paid the cost with the license, and if you recall, we actually did raise the price of this one to $35,000 to cover the costs that were involved in establishing the district. So approval is recommended.
I'll move to approve 7AI1.
Second.
Any discussion, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Okay, item 7A, the liquor license is approved. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, 7. Very important you be here, thank you.
When are you opening?
Yeah, when are you opening?
Hopefully January, middle of January.
Middle of January, we can get some voodoo beer.
December.
Okay.
Right when you need a beer, we'll be
All right, when we need a beer. All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, 7B, Plan Commission report, Alderman Grimmer.
Nothing on our agenda tonight. We had a brief meeting last week. The Plan Commission continues to debate zoning ordinances related to automobile service stations and where they should be allowed within the community, and we will be revisiting accessory structure size limitations. Our next meeting is when it usually is.
last Wednesday in October.
There you go.
All right, thank you. 7C, Lake Welfare Committee, Alderperson Price.
Yes, we have not met yet, so.
Okay. Park and Recreation, Tree Board, Alderman Schaefer.
We've got through probably the high priority sections of the revisions to the long-range plan and through our 2025 budget request approvals. Approve the requests, that is.
What's your due date? When can we expect it? How does it look like?
I've passed it along
Okay,
to Tom and Mr. Zellner.
so you're done.
Yes.
All right.
Budgeting? Budgeting, yes. Long-range plan, still sections to be completed.
Okay. Super. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, 7E, Public Works Committee.
The committee met last week, had a very brief meeting. The only topic of discussion was a crosswalk in front of the Commodore restaurant. They're putting a crosswalk across Nagawicka Road so they can access some supplemental parking on the east side of Nagawicka. And we approved a plan that they submitted, and that was all we accomplished in our 15-minute meeting. Next meeting is first Wednesday of next month.
All right, great, thank you. Police Commission, Alderperson Valde.
We haven't met, but I spoke with Alderperson Schaefer earlier this week or last week, really, and he told me about a ride-along. And the reason I'm sharing just a little piece of it is that while he was on the ride-along, he witnessed our police officers do some pretty amazing things. One of them was to use, was it called a flock camera system, and it actually, in real time, helped them solve a crime. And that's something we approved on the Common Council. So he wanted me to share that with you. You could probably regale them with more, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, the council knew that something that we approved actually helped.
There was let's see, how do I say this without, innocent until proven guilty, right? But there were some materials missing from the construction site over here. License number of the individuals who were there was given to the police, and a very short time later, that license number popped up on the flock cameras in the city here, and they apprehended a couple of individuals.
All right.
So thanks, I guess thanks to the commission or the council for approving the money, and thanks to the chief for the idea in the first place.
We'll take our requisite 1% of the credit.
That's the story. Thanks to the chief and his people.
All right, thanks, Jackie. Library Board, Alderperson Henry.
We are meeting tomorrow, so I do not have a report today.
Okay, thank you. Zoning Board of Appeals, Alderperson Henry.
No meeting, no report.
Very good. Promotion and Tourism, Alderperson Valde.
We are meeting in the morning.
Okay, you mean tomorrow morning? All right. Lake Country Fire and Rescue Commission, I do not believe there was a meeting. Lake Country Fire and Rescue Board, Alderperson Grimmer.
We did not have quorum. We did not have a meeting last week.
Okay, Deer Management Committee, Alderperson Wilkin.
We have not had a meeting since our last council meeting.
Right, any other committees, commissions, and boards? There are none. Unfinished business is empty tonight. Mayor's report. Very nice. I had a very nice time at the St. John's Northwestern Academy pancake breakfast on Saturday. It was a good event. Our police department was there showcasing in partnership with New Berlin police officers our tactical vehicle that we contribute to as a community with the other, well, I think 8 other communities. I think there's 9 of us. And to my surprise, it's used quite often as a matter of best practices for people with warrants and things like that. So it was interesting. But also St. John's is doing some great work. Talked with their president, and their enrollment keeps inching up, which is a great sign. He said we're trying our best to stay vibrant and vital to here in the community. And I said we are all counting on it. We like what they do, and we like that they're here. So that was a good event. And aside from that, a little note in recognition of appreciation for years of service for County of Delafield employees. Got a couple people that have been here 2 or 1 years. One of them is Crystal. So She's celebrating the anniversary on Halloween. And someone with slightly more tenure than her is Paul Zellner, who will be, I think, 30 years in on Halloween. So say hi and congratulations to Paul, and thank you for all his hard work. With that, we'll move on to new business. 10A, discussion and possible action for the annual renewal of Lake Country Fire and Rescue line of credits. I'll turn this over to Tom.
In your packet, there are two documents associated with the annual line of credit renewal. That is the government certificate that identifies that we've had a change in signatory with the new mayor since last year. And then the change in terms just defines the dates of the new terms. Typically, there'd be a third document called the business loan agreement. That's the document that assigns liability to each of the communities in case Lake Country Fire and Rescue would ever default on borrowing from the line of credit. And, you know, there remains some disagreement on interpretation of that document. And typically that document gets redone every year because the cost sharing percentages should change every year. But we didn't get a copy of it this year. And when I asked why, I was told that because we're using the funding formula as of the date of the signing of the agreement. When I read the IMA, it indicates that it should be the cost sharing percentage when a default occurs, which if we're looking at an agreement from October to October, that default could occur in 2024, could occur in 2025. I didn't get make any headway with regards to getting the wording changed at all. With that being said, the difference is extremely minor. We're talking about 0.21% if a default occurred in 2025. The fire chief suggested that that the city approve this now because it would cause a delay if we if we didn't do so, and that the difference is small, like I said. The reality is there is a very small likelihood that LCFR would use this line of credit. They never have before. If they were to use it, they would probably borrow significantly less than the $500,000 maximum allowed. And if they did borrow, the likelihood of them defaulting is even smaller. So I would suggest that that the council go ahead and approve these documents with the caveat that Lake Country Fire and Rescue Management make sure that the wording in future years is consistent with the IMA.
Yeah, there was an exchange in emails discussing this difference in interpretation. I don't see that there's a difference. I think it reads the way our city administrator does. And I said it's definitely not his position, or I respect the responsible approach that he's taking and not overlooking a potential $10,000 variance in what we're signing up for and what our liabilities might be. And also, any kind of arbitrary language in a legal document should be eliminated. So we're going to work with LCFR, or we've already asked them to just remedy this. There's several different ways they could fix this, and one of the most optimal ways is probably to sync it up with a January to December loan period, so then it syncs up with the budget and there's no 2-month layover. But again, this is a remote possibility that we would default, so I'm recommending also that we just approve it as presented.
I'll move to approve the Lake Country Fire and Rescue line of credit as presented.
Oh, I'll second.
Any more discussion?
This approval is a one-year term.
Correct.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay, or abstentions? Okay, the line of credit is approved. Does it also apply to the loan document? Are those both?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Item 10B, discussion possible action regarding Resolution 2024-10. Resolution required for the City of Delafield's 2025 Clean Boats, Clean Waters funding request to be submitted to the Department of Natural Resources. let Tom do this one too.
Yeah, this is an annual grant that we've been applying for many years now. It's been a successful program that we're able to hire seasonal employees that do boat inspections to make sure both that they're checking watercraft coming in and out of Nagawicca for invasive species, and they're doing a public education as they speak with the boaters, so that when our inspectors aren't there, hopefully some of these boaters can be doing the inspections themselves. And so this resolution is required to apply for that grant, and I recommend approval of the resolution.
I'll move to approve Resolution 2024-10.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, or abstentions? Okay, Resolution 2024-10 is approved. Item 10C, approval of vouchers payable for reporting dates of 9/18/2024 to 10/8/2024.
Move to approve vouchers payable for reporting dates 9/18/24 through 10/8/24.
Second.
Any discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Okay, vouchers list is now paid for. Report of city officials, Tom.
Yeah, a few things to report on. First of all would be the upcoming budget schedule. We are going to be holding our annual budget workshop on Thursday, October 24th. We are having a change of venue back to the Public Safety Training Room because the council chambers is in use that evening by a library program. So Thursday, October 24th at 6 o'clock, that'll be in the Public Safety Training Room. And then the next two meetings, those are our regularly scheduled council meetings in November. On November 4th, we'll have the budget public hearing. And on November 18th is when we are scheduled for final action on the budget. Moving on, some really good news. If you recall, back in late winter, early spring of this year, we applied for grant funding on the Genesee Street Path project that was talked about today in citizens' comments. And that's a grant program that funds up to 50% of the project. Our project cost was a little over $400,000, so we were applying for $202,000. And in July, I got an early update from DNR staff that at that time they said that we were the last of the projects that scored high enough to get some grant funding. And so everybody above us got fully funded, and we just got the scraps that were left after that. So at that time, they were going to be funding us about $140,000 out of the $202,000 we had applied for. And in mid-September, I got better news where they said, hey, some numbers have changed and moved around a little bit, and we're going to be able to, there's a tentative award that they're going to be able to fully fund our grant for $202,000. That is tentative, unlikely to change, but it remains tentative until we get a final grant agreement late in the year this year. So it's looking very likely that we will receive 50% grant funding on that project, which is great. And then lastly, just a reminder, this week is brush collection week. It started today, but if you're in a neighborhood that didn't get collected today, you still have time to get your brush out there. So please take advantage. The guys do a great job with the pickup, and it really helps that almost all of our residents diligently follow the instructions on how to stack, where to stack, and there's a lot of good communication out there. So we thank the residents for that.
Great, thanks, Tom. Crystal, for the city clerk's report, what does Molly have to say?
Okay, from Molly. So the November 4th general election update, so far as of 10/1, we have sent out 740 absentee ballots. We've had 158 absentee ballots returned. Just a reminder that their in-person absentee voting will start on Tuesday, October the 22nd. And then in the packet, there is an update regarding the status of the open records request submitted by John Schroeder on September the 11th, 2023.
Thank you very much. The city's treasurer report would be in the packet. And D, council requests for future agenda items. Are there any requests?
I have one. I would like to have a discussion, not necessarily action, about Bleecker Street boat launch permit restrictions that we have, and I can go into that, at our next meeting.
Okay, great. Any information you have, you can forward, in advance, you can forward to.
Oh, I
Tom
will.
And I, okay, awesome. And Molly? Anything else?
I'd like to do a follow-up on the wake boat guidelines, just to get a feedback on how it's impacted, or, what sort of impact it's had, see if we need further follow-up.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. Anything else? Okay, great. Correspondence, look in the packet, and then the last order of business involves our second last. The last would be adjournment, but announcement for matters for possible closed session. So, and we'll reconvene into open session after we complete the closed session to consider the balance of the agenda, which is, like I said, just simply to discuss and act on what we talk about there and adjourn. So we have, looking for a motion to convene into closed session pursuant to the following provisions, so bear with me. Motion to convene into closed session pursuant to provisions of State Statute 1985-1C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, more specifically regarding the compensation of the chief of police and police lieutenant. Item 2, motion to convene into closed session pursuant to the provisions of Wisconsin Statute 1985-1. E, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session. More specifically, the proposed 2025 Lake Country Fire and Rescue budget, the City of Delafield's contribution to the 2025 LCFR budget, and the municipal cost sharing proposal from the September 24th, 2024 LCFR leadership meeting. So looking for a motion to go into closed session on those two items.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Okay, Henry,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Valdi,
Aye.
Wilkin,
Aye.
Grimmer,
Aye.
Price,
Aye.
Berg.
Aye.
All right, we are now in closed session. Okay, welcome back. I'm looking for a motion to reconvene into open session.
I move to reconvene into open session.
Second?
Okay, so vote. Henry,
Aye.
Schaefer,
Aye.
Valdy,
Aye.
Wilkin,
Aye.
Grimmer,
Aye.
Price,
Aye.
Berg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We're now in open session. Okay, on discussion possible action regarding items in closed session. Item I, discussion possible action regarding 2025 compensation for the chief of police and police lieutenant.
I'll make a motion to compensate the chief of police $126,630.91 with a 2.5% raise in July for the year 2025.
I'll second.
Who was the second?
Berg.
Thank you. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Meant to include also, how about a salary increase for chief of police and, oh, there we go.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to compensate the police lieutenant $105,200 with a 2.5% increase in July of the year 2025.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Okay. Very good. Okay, discussion and possible action on proposed 4,644,740 municipal contributions funding toward Lake Country Fire and Rescue operating budget.
I'll move to approve the 4.644740 with a City of Delafield contribution of 1.809030.49.
Second?
Any discussion? Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
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 Okay. Ayes. Okay, motion passes. Sorry, I'm doing two jobs here. Okay, so having no further business, the meeting is now adjourned at 8:59 PM.